Okay guys, happily average racer here with a little track guide for the Clipsal 500 layout of the Adelaide circuit for Automobilista 2. So we'll make our way onto the front straight here and try and run through little tips for each corner. Keep in mind I'm using the standard gearing from the default setup. I have not changed the ratios at all. So on the Hotlap we'll be up to 4th gear by the time we make the first corner, and we're pretty much on the rev limit, so we'll keep it in 4th gear. The real key is to get your car over as far to the right hand side as you can, so that means putting the right hand wheels over the pit exit there. Our braking point is going to be about 70 metres out, so about here. A good stomp on the brake just to load the front of the car up, and then aim for the apex of the first part of the chicane. I find if you make that good first attempt to turn left at that part there, you can get away with a little bit more on the exit of the chicane. So as I said, just at least try and make an effort to turn left. If you don't try and turn left, the game will give you a track cut. So from there we're just going to blast out still in 4th gear, and again with the standard gearing you're going to run it out to the rev limit. Now my braking point for the first part of the stairs, we call them, the series of right-left corners, is this gantry here, just after the gantry. If it's sunny like it is today, you can see the shadow, so you want to brake just after you go through the shadow. And we're going to go down, I'll restart the car, we're going to go down 2 gears, so we're going to go 3rd and then into 2nd. Make your braking zone really long, so you want to make sure we're braking from that gantry. Imagine our braking point going all the way around to just past the apex of the corner. So at this point you're sort of 20% brakes, 10% brakes on the brakes, and then as the car squares up, then you can nail the throttle. The whole section is in 2nd gear. So again, 2nd gear up to the rev limit, we're going to brake just inside that 50 metre marker, just a dab of the brakes. Again, nice and wide because everything's a really late apex here at Adelaide. Still 2nd gear. Again, we haven't changed gear at all. A little blast again. Just where the road changes here, there's a little marshal's point. You can see the guy hiding behind the fence there. That's my little braking point for this corner. So again, very small dab of the brakes, and then a nice late turn in across the apex. You can let the car just drift onto the edge of this rumble strip. It won't unsettle the car too much. And again, when we hit this 25 metre board, a little bit of braking before that, and again, nice late turn in. Don't grab too much of this rumble strip here, it's more aggressive than the last one. Coming up to the very famous turn 8, you're going to be in 5th gear with that standard gearing. And we're going to do the very lightest of dabs on the brake. Aim for about a 220 km/h entry speed to turn 8. Oh sorry, mid-corner speed for turn 8. So the braking point, just as the fence comes out, you're going to dab the brakes about 60 metres out, and then aim the car across the apex about 220 km/h, as I said. Nail the throttle on the exit, and let the car drift out to the wall. The final big braking point here, you're going to be again in 5th gear from that previous turn 8. We're going to brake right at this 150 metre marker. Key thing for this corner, so you don't get any compression lockups, you don't lose those rear brakes, is to be very smooth on your downshifts. So don't just try and jam at 4, 3, 2, 1. Make them consistent, almost slow gear changes. So 4th, 3rd, 2nd, and then 1st as you get down to the apex. If you try and jam it down the gears too fast, you'll lose the back end. So again, braking at the 150 metre marker, 4th gear, 3rd gear, 2nd gear. 1st gear just before we jump into the apex, again nice and wide. Look out at your right hand side there, find the apex, and then again short shift into 2nd. That's really important, there'll be a lot of wheel spin there. Up to 3rd, cut across this part of the track here, let the car sort of drift out to the right, just inside the 50 metre marker. It's a quick downshift to 2nd gear, and again you can fairly aggressive on that curb and use the curb on the outside here as your exit. It won't unsettle the car. For the final part of the track, you'll be in 4th gear, pretty much on the rev limiter again. This section here is almost just a bit of a lift off, not much brakes at all, just a lift, transfer the weight of the car to the outside, hug that apex there. As the car straightens up and you see the pit lane entry, 3rd gear, 2nd gear, and then 1st gear for the hairpin. Nice wide and apex that hairpin. So let's do a bit of a lap. Let's try and put those things into action. So up to 4th gear. Let the car float out to the right. On the brakes, apex that left-hander. Nice and aggressive through there. Let the car run out in 4th gear. Brake inside the gantry. Down 2 gears. Always braking, brake, brake, brake. And then just off the brakes at the apex. Squeeze the throttle inside the 50. Again, squeeze that throttle. Bit of a lock-up, that's okay. We're still going. Again, really late apexes here. Up to 5th gear. Just flush across there, beautiful. Just out to the wall, 150 metres. Look for the apex. Be patient on the throttle. Short shift. 3rd gear. Use the exit up to 4th gear. Just off the throttle, transfer the weight of the car. 1st gear, nice and slow, slow in, fast out. And the run to the line. So 118.2. Alright guys, hope that helped. Any questions, shoot me a message.